Welcome to the explainer. Okay, if you're even thinking about putting in laminate flooring, you're going to want to stick around. This is a big one. And nope, we're not talking about the fun stuff like colors or finishes today. We're getting into what really makes or breaks the whole job, the foundation.
It's so easy to just focus on the pretty laminate planks you see on top. But this quote from contractor James Miller, it really hits the nail on the head. The real secret, the unsung hero of a floor that's going to last, is what's hidden right underneath your feet.
So, what's the big deal, right? Why are we so obsessed with this hidden layer? Well, here's why. It's literally the difference between a beautiful floor that you'll enjoy for decades and one that starts to warp, creak, and pull apart almost right away. No joke.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to talk about why this subfloor is such a hero. Then we'll look at your different options for a foundation. After that, the supercritical moisture test. Then, how to prep it for a perfect fit. And we'll finish up with underlayment. All right, let's dive in.
All right, first things first, let's really get into why we're spending all this time on the foundation. I mean, what does a subfloor actually do for you?
Okay, think of it like the backbone of your floor. It's doing all the heavy lifting. It's supporting every single plank. It's absorbing the impact every time you walk across the room. And this is a big one. It's what stops that horrible shifting and creaking that can just drive you nuts. You get this part right, and you're setting yourself up for a pro-level finish that's going to last and last.
So, what are you actually building on? Chances are you're dealing with one of four main types of subfloors, and you really need to know what you've got, because each one has its own set of pros and cons.
Yeah, this breakdown really shows you the trade-offs. Plywood, it's the gold standard, super reliable, but yeah, it'll cost you a bit more. Then you've got OSB, or oriented strand board. It's way more budget-friendly, but you have to be really careful with moisture around it. Concrete is, well, rock solid, but getting it prepped can be a big job and add to the cost. And then there's the idea of just going over your old vinyl or tile. It can save you a ton of demolition time, but that's only a go if that existing floor is already perfectly flat. Okay, this next part is huge. I don't care what kind of subfloor you have, this is the one step you absolutely cannot skip. We need to talk about moisture. It is the silent killer of laminate floors. And seriously, I can't say this enough. Even a little bit of moisture trapped underneath your new floor will completely destroy it. We're talking swelling, warping, buckling, and even mold. That's why testing for it isn't just a good idea, it's an absolute must-do. So if you've got a wood subfloor, like plywood or OSB, here's the number you have to remember: 12%. Your moisture content has to be below 12%, no exceptions. And it's pretty easy to check. You can grab a pin or pinless moisture meter and just make sure you test a few different spots around the room to get a good average. Now, for concrete, the rules are even tighter. You need to be under 3%. But hey, you don't even need a fancy tool for a quick check. You can do the old plastic sheet test. Just tape a square of plastic sheeting down on the concrete, leave it for a full day, and then peel it back. If you see any condensation under there, well, you've got a moisture issue you need to fix before you do anything else. Okay, so you've confirmed your subfloor is nice and dry. Awesome. Now we move on to the next critical mission: getting it perfectly flat and level. All right, listen up, because this is the golden rule of flooring. Your subfloor has to be level to within 3/16 of an inch over a 10-foot stretch. That's not a lot of wiggle room. If it's off by more than that, what happens is the planks will actually flex and bend every time you walk on them. Over time, that flexing will break the little locking systems that hold them together, and you'll end up with nasty gaps between your boards. If you're working with wood, the process is pretty straightforward. First, you've got to get it super clean, no debris. Then, grab a long straight edge and just slide it across the floor. You'll immediately feel any high spots or see any low spots. The high spots, you just sand them down. The low spots, you fill them in with a leveling compound. And for the finale, make sure you screw down any loose panels. That's how you kill those annoying squeaks before they even start. Prepping concrete is kind of similar. You're going to clean it, use a self-leveling compound to fill in any big dips, and you might have to grind down some high spots. But, and this is a big but, the final step for concrete is non-negotiable. You have to put down a vapor barrier. This is what's going to stop any future moisture from wicking up through the concrete slab and destroying your floor from below. Okay, we are so close. Your subfloor is dry, it's level, you've done all the hard work. There's just one final piece to this puzzle before we can even think about laying down those laminate planks, and that is the underlayment.
And let's be super clear about this. Underlayment is not an optional add-on your flooring store tries to sell you. It is a critical part of the whole system. It's this thin layer that goes between your subfloor and your new laminate, and it does a bunch of things. It gives you some cushioning, it really helps to reduce noise, and it acts as that final line of defense for moisture and stability.
And what's really important to know is that the underlayment you choose depends entirely on the subfloor you have. If you're going over wood, you'll probably use a simple foam or felt, mostly for cushioning and sound. But if you're going over concrete, a vapor-blocking underlayment is an absolute must. It's the only thing that's going to protect your investment from all that potential moisture.
So, there you have it. The next time you're dreaming about a new floor, please remember to look past the pretty surface. When you take the time to get the subfloor right, to make sure it's dry, level, and properly protected, you're not just laying down some planks. You're building a solid foundation that's going to look great for years and years to come. So the only real question is your foundation ready for the job?